Hello, survivors. Thank you for taking the time to listen to the story. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel. Your support truly keeps this community alive. In the dim glow of a garage lit by flickering fluorescent bulbs, shadows dance across the sleek curves of a machine that defies the electric hum echoing through the world, a beast with a heartbeat of combustion, raw and unapologetic. Whispers ripple through the air like exhaust fumes. Could this be the spark that reignites a forgotten fire in an age of silent batteries? Hold your breath as the engine roars to life, a thunderous promise that the road ahead twists in unexpected ways. Imagine the boardrooms of Wolfsburg, where maps of the future unfurl like storm clouds, dotted with charging stations that gleam like distant stars. Yet for so many, those stars remain just out of reach. It's October 2025, and the air is thick with the scent of change, but not the kind everyone expected. While the horizon buzzes with visions of cordless highways, a German giant stirs from its electric ambitions, unveiling a creation that pulses with the old world's vigor. This isn't mere metal and glass, it's a defiant silhouette against the tide, an SUV named T-Roc that slices through the debate like a well-sharpened blade. Its lines cut sharp and aggressive, evoking the predatory grace of a wolf on the prowl, headlights piercing the night like eyes hungry for the open expanse. Beneath the hood, a mechanical symphony builds, layers of torque and thrust that remind us power isn't always measured in kilowatts, but in the visceral pull that grips your soul and hurtles you forward. The murmurs start low, in the cobblestone streets of Munich where mechanics lean over coffee-stained counters, debating if this is heresy or heresy disguised as wisdom. Across the Atlantic, in the sprawling lots of American suburbs, families pause mid-test drive, fingers tracing the grille's bold expanse, wondering if the whisper-quiet glide of rivals has dulled the thrill too long. And in the neon haze of Shanghai's auto expos, executives from distant empires exchange glances, their tablets glowing with sales projections that suddenly tilt like dominoes. Why now? Why this? The T-Roc doesn't just arrive, it collides, forcing the question, in a symphony of electrons, does the orchestra still crave the brass section's bold cry? It's more than a vehicle, it's a manifesto on wheels, challenging the gospel of green by blending the roar of heritage with the whisper of tomorrow. Feel the tension coil in your chest, that electric spark of curiosity igniting as we peel back the layers of this audacious return. To grasp the full weight of this moment, step back into the vast theater of global roads, where the Volkswagen empire sprawls like an ancient colossus, its arms reaching from Arctic tundras to equatorial sprawls. Picture the year 2024 etched in ledger lines, over 8.8 million souls ferried across continents, each one a testament to endurance amid chaos. Yet amid that fleet, a mere 780,000 glide on electric wings, barely a whisper at 9%, a fraction that hums with potential but stumbles in the shadow of giants. Tesla's legions crest at 1.8 million, their sleek forms dominating sun-baked freeways. BYD surges past 3 million, weaving through the pulse of megacities where batteries charge like urban lifelines. Volkswagen lingers in the pack, third or fourth in the silent sprint, its ID lineage, ID.4's versatile stance, ID.7's elongated poise, ID Buzz's nostalgic charm, earning nods for ingenuity but faltering under the crush of escalating costs, the interminable wait at sparse plugs, and supply chains frayed like old wiring. Envision the rural byways of Tuscany, where olive groves flank narrow lanes too tangled for the grid's embrace. Or the dusty veins of Midwest America, where pickup shadows stretch long under harvest moons, far from the nearest outlet. Or the monsoon-lashed trails of rural India, where power flickers like a candle in the wind. Here, the world doesn't pivot on plugs, it thrives on pumps, on the reliable growl that carries you from dawn's first light to twilight's hush without a second thought. Volkswagen's visionaries, poring over data streams in dimly lit war rooms, spot the chasm. The EV dawn breaks unevenly, leaving vast swaths in twilight. Customers cling to the familiar thrum, the instant torque that surges like adrenaline, the cross-country hauls unburdened by range anxiety's cold grip. Prices climb like vines on a trellis, batteries demand minerals mined from Earth's contested depths, and delivery timelines stretch like rubber bands on the verge of snap. Rivals fortify their thrones, BYD's iron grip on Asia's electric veins, Tesla's cult-like sway over premium pavement, leaving Volkswagen to recalibrate, not retreat. Thus emerges the dual heartbeat strategy, a rhythmic counterpoint to the monomania of full electrification. EVs will evolve, yes, but the combustion core endures, refined and resilient, ensuring no market slips through the cracks. It's a chess master's gambit. Advance the knights of battery tech while safeguarding the rooks of refined fuel. Enter the T-Roc, not as a relic, but as a revelation, embodying the yearning for that auditory poetry, the deep bass note of acceleration, the steady drone of highway conquests, the unyielding stamina for journeys that span seasons. In 2025's fractured landscape, projections whisper that electrics claim no more than 20% of the throne, the lion's share, 80%, still roaring on gasoline's faithful pulse or hybrid harmonies. Volkswagen, ever the pragmatist, refuses to cede that realm, crafting machines that marry efficiency's elegance with emissions restraint, mileage that mocks the skeptics. The T-Roc stands as proof, attunement to the tangible, not the trendy, a bridge spanning today's necessities and tomorrow's dreams, where every rivet and weld whispers of calculated defiance. Now, lean in closer, feel the vibration through the steering wheel as we ignite the heart of the matter, the engine that pulses like a caged storm, ready to unleash. In an era where rivals obsess over electron flows and phantom ranges, Volkswagen doubles down on dynamism, crowning the T-Roc with a 2.0-liter TSI petrol heart, forged lighter yet fiercer, churning forth 187 to 220 steeds of unbridled might. This isn't the brute force of yesteryear. It's the same refined power plant that graces the marque's elite stablemates, now honed sharper with algorithmic wizardry in its software veins, and a mild hybrid ally, a compact electric sentinel and battery reserve that awakens at the whisper of a start, easing the dawn from idle to motion without the crude lurch of old. Sense the synergy as you ease into traffic's snarl, the mild hybrid's subtle nudge smoothing the edges, reclaiming whispers of energy from each deceleration to feed the system's quiet hunger, all while sipping fuel with disciplined grace. Picture rain-slicked autobahns where tires bite into sheen under halogen glow. The T-Roc's 4-motion all-wheel orchestra redistributes the fury on demand, claws digging into mud-churned paths or gravel whispers alike, transforming peril into poetry. And the transmission? A 7-speed dual-clutch maestro, shifting with the snap of lightning, each cog a seamless pivot that elevates the mundane commute to a ballet of velocity. Volkswagen's legacy of tuneful engineering resonates here, power unfurling in a silken thread, no jarring spikes, just a crescendo that builds and holds, torque at the ready for those heart-pounding passes where lanes blur into streaks. But peel deeper, beyond the specs, into the soul of this mechanical marvel. Why petrol when the world chants zero emissions? It's the intrigue that hooks, the paradox that provokes. This T-Roc engine isn't a dinosaur's gasp, it's a sage's evolution, intellect woven into iron, efficiency etched in every cycle, emissions tamed to a hush. The mild hybrid's regenerative embrace captures braking's lost kinetic poetry, funneling it back to lighten the load, yielding a thirst of merely 7 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers, a sip for such a substantial frame. Picture rain-slicked autobahns where tires bite into sheen under halogen glow. The T-Roc's 4-motion all-wheel orchestra redistributes the fury on demand, claws digging into mud-churned paths or gravel whispers alike, transforming peril into poetry. And the transmission? A 7-speed dual-clutch maestro, shifting with the snap of lightning, each cog a seamless pivot that elevates the mundane commute to a ballet of velocity. Volkswagen's legacy of tuneful engineering resonates here, power unfurling in a silken thread, no jarring spikes, just a crescendo that builds and holds, torque at the ready for those heart-pounding passes where lanes blur into streaks. But peel deeper, beyond the specs, into the soul of this mechanical marvel. Why petrol when the world chants zero emissions? It's the intrigue that hooks, the paradox that provokes. This T-Roc engine isn't a dinosaur's gasp, it's a sage's evolution, intellect woven into iron, efficiency etched in every cycle, emissions tamed to a hush. The mild hybrid's regenerative embrace captures braking's lost kinetic poetry, funneling it back to lighten the load, yielding a thirst of merely 7 to 8 liters per 100 kilometers, a sip for such a substantial frame. 0 to 100 flashes by in 8 breathless seconds, a sprint that belies its stature, blending brawn with ballet. Listen, that signature Volkswagen timbre, a growl neither brash nor bashful, but resonant, a baritone assurance that wraps around you like a trusted companion's voice in the night. Engineers in white coats, sleeves rolled amid whirring dynos, obsessed over endurance. Advanced thermal veils to temper the blaze, turbochargers that breathe with precision, friction banished to the ether through exotic alloys. The result? A companion for the urban labyrinth or the endless ribbon of interstate, maintenance a distant murmur rather than a dirge. And the twist of torque, up to 320 Newton meters, anchors you on inclines that defy or catapults you past dawdlers with authoritative poise. 4Motion's vigilant dance apportions the surge wheel by wheel, steadying the ship through deluge or dune, dry asphalt or treacherous twist. It's not just propulsion, it's partnership, a dialogue between driver and machine where every input echoes with intent, every curve conquered with confidence born of cunning design. Transition now from the growl to the glow, slipping inside the T-Roc sanctum where analog fury yields to digital divinity, a cockpit that redefines command, wrapping you in a cocoon of tomorrow's touch. The door swings wide and immersion strikes. A 15-inch tableau unfurls like a portal, dominion over climate's caress, navigation's oracle, melody's embrace, all at the stroke of a digit. Fluid as a lover's glance, the interface pirouettes without stutter, mirroring the intuition of your pocket oracle. Before the helm, a 10.25-inch digital expanse pulses with life's ledger, velocity's arrow, cartography's thread, fuel's vigilant gauge, even the watchful eyes of ADAS humming in vigilant harmony, all conspiring to tether your gaze to the vanishing point ahead. The ambiance? A symphony of subtlety, ambient hues cascading in over 30 palettes, from sapphire serenity to amber allure, casting the cabin in nocturnal theater, shadows playing across contours like scenes from a dream. Materials yield like whispered secrets, supple hides that breathe with you, ergonomics that anticipate every shift. Seats, thrones of ventilated vigor and heated haven morph to your mood, banishing summer's swelter or winter's bite with effortless empathy. Outward, the form asserts, a prow broad and unyielding, emblem aglow at its nexus, flanked by LED sentinels whose matrix minds modulate beams to spare oncoming souls, illuminating without intrusion. Aft, luminous ribbons unite in futuristic flourish. Laterally, facets hew the silhouette into athletic armor, every crease a testament to wind-cheating intent. Yet technology transcends the tangible, embedding safeguards that border on prescience, adaptive rhythms to cruise in consort with the flow, lanes that nudge like gentle hands, shadows unveiled in blind arcs, collisions foreseen and forestalled, halts invoked in crisis's blink. On endless blacktops where eyelids grow heavy, these guardians whisper relief, transforming vigilance into voyage. Conveniences cascade, inductive pads for cordless communion, seamless bridges to Apple and Android realms, a dozen speakers weaving sonic tapestries, OTA elixirs that evolve the essence unbidden. Voice alone summons, chill the air, and zephyrs obey, chart the stars, and paths unfold. It's not mere machinery, it's an extension of will, a digital familiar that anticipates, adapts, elevates the act of motion to meditation. And the ledger of luxury, does it beckon all or only the discerning? In international bazaars, the T-Roc summons begins at $35,000, cresting to $45,000, a portal to mid-tier majesty that flirts with opulence without the excess. Aimed at aspirants who crave elevation sans extravagance, it spars with kin like Hyundai's Tucson, hovering RS 27-34 lock in subcontinental stalls, Honda's CR-V RS 28-33 lock, Toyota's RAV4 around RS 35 lock abroad. Yet here's the alchemy, where peers peddle adequacy, T-Roc proffers plenitude. The 2.0 TSI's vigor, 4Motion's tenacity, hybrid's thrift, all woven into a tapestry typically reserved for RS 70 lock sanctuaries. At this nexus, expense transmutes to equity. Features that command premiums elsewhere arrive as allies, not indulgences. Trust tempers the transaction. Volkswagen's heraldry, forged in Teutonic tenacity, pledges durability that outlasts doubters. Networks span like neural webs, parts flow with precision, engineering's ethos etched in every seam. Buyers murmur of initial outlays bite, softened by spans of steadfast service, decades, not dawns. The T-Roc inherits this mantle, a bastion for those unswayed by flash, seeking substance in style. Not universal allure, no, it shuns the thrifty throng below 33 lock, where Tucsons tread humbly. But for budgets ascending to 50 lock, craving cachet laced with capability, power's poetry, tech's tapestry, forward's foresight, its elixir incarnate. Volkswagen's clarion, harmony and duality, EVs ascending while petrol persists, T-Roc the fulcrum of finesse, luxury's logic for lives that demand distinction. Delve deeper into the stratagem, the seismic shift rippling through industry's veins, a prodigal son reclaiming the pump amid battery barrages. Odd perhaps this resurrection of roar when choruses chant electric eternity. Yet logic lurks in the layers, practicality's prism refracting the hype.
Commence with the Earth's uneven canvas. EVs herald the morrow, but today dawns dim in domains where grids gasp. 80% of souls navigate nations where outlets are oases, not oceans, where volts vacillate, costs cascade like monsoons. Europe and China's circuits hum, yet Africa's arteries, South Asia's sprawl, Latin America's labyrinths, even America's hinterlands hunger for the familiar fill-up. Sole reliance on sparks? A siren's snare, luring to ledges. Volkswagen's antidote? Bifurcation, EVs blooming beside bolstered burns. Battery burdens weigh heavy, 35–40% of an EV's essence locked in lithium's lottery, nickel's negotiation, cobalt's contest. Fluctuations flay forecasts, ID4's promise and ID7's poise yielding yields below ambition's arc. Diversify the dice, hybrids and hydrocarbons as hedges, tailoring to terrains where demand dictates. Consumers confess, electrons enchant, yet crave combustion's crescendo, the visceral vibration, the auditory adrenaline that EVs mute to murmur. T-Roc bridges the breach, 2.0 TSI's timber tempered by mild hybrid's mercy, green-tinged grunt for the heart's highway hymn. Pragmatism prevails in pauses. Plugs demand patience, 80% in 10 to 15 minutes for the elite few, while tanks tip full in 5, unfurling 700 to 800 kilometers of unfettered freedom. Engineers empathize, birthing T-Rocs for realms where recharge is reverie, not routine. Service symphonies favor the known, batteries' balm belies breakage's bite, premiums punishing, petrol's progeny, ubiquitous ateliers, kinfolk versed in valves and veins. Asia's avenues, South America's sweeps, Volkswagen's vital veins, voice fealty to the tried, urging evolution, not eruption. Transition's tempo tempers all, 5 to 7 years of twilight, where wholesale swaps stumble. Modernize the mainstead, cleansed combustion, hybridized harmony, mild motors mending emissions mendacity, fuels frugality fortified. Billions bet on batteries, yet backbone bends to balance. T-Roc testifies, no factional fray, but fusion's finesse. Grounded gaze, not ethereal edict, one size shackles. Volkswagen's Vista varies by vista, purse, pulse. While herds hurdle homogeneous, this titan treads tailored trails, tech entwined with tenacity, potency with probity. Does petrol perish? T-Rock thunders. Not yet. The debate detonates, a powder keg of possibility, leaving us suspended on the cusp. Will this hybrid heartbeat harmonize the chaos, or herald a schism anew? Picture the open road stretching endlessly before the T-Rock, its tires humming a relentless anthem against the asphalt, each mile a testament to Volkswagen's audacious gamble. The horizon shimmers with heat, a mirage of progress, where electric dreams and gasoline legacies collide. And in this crucible, the T-Rock carves its own myth.
Cities blur past. Berlin's orderly pulse, Shanghai's neon chaos, the sprawling quiet of American plains. Yet everywhere, heads turn, drawn to the SUV's sculpted menace, its presence a challenge to the silent surge of battery-powered rivals. The cabin cocoons you, a sanctuary where ambient lights shift like moods, from crimson intensity to twilight calm, while the 15-inch screen glows like a command deck, whispering data in sync with your heartbeat. Outside, the world debates. Is this defiance or destiny? The T-Rock doesn't answer. It roars, a primal reminder that choice, not conformity, fuels freedom. Zoom in on the driver, knuckles taut on the leather-wrapped wheel, eyes flicking to the digital cockpit where navigation lines pulse like veins. The 2.0 TSI engine hums, its 220 horsepower coiled, ready to unleash on a hairpin turn or a straightaway's siren call. The mild hybrid system, a silent partner, weaves efficiency into every rev, sipping fuel with a miser's care while regenerative brakes hum softly, stealing energy from motion's ebb. Feel the 4Motion grip as rain lashes the windshield, tires clawing through slick curves with predatory precision, the 7-speed dual-clutch shifting so seamlessly it feels like thought made manifest. This isn't just driving, it's communion, a dialogue where metal listens, responds, anticipates. The engine's growl, tempered yet fierce, fills the silence left by electric rivals, a sound that stirs memories of open highways and untamed nights. Now pan to the broader stage, where Volkswagen's strategy unfolds like a chessboard in a storm. The auto giants jostle, BYD's electric empire sprawls across Asia's megacities, Tesla's sleek dominion electrifies urban coasts. Yet Volkswagen plays the long game, its pieces moving with calculated audacity. Data scrolls across analysts' screens. 2024's 8.8 million sales, a Titan's tally, yet only 780,000 electric, a mere 9% whispering of untapped potential. The world's roads tell a rawer truth. 80% of drivers still lean on gasoline or hybrids, tethered to pumps in regions where charging stations are myths. Rural France's winding lanes, India's monsoon-soaked hinterlands, Africa's sun-scorched stretches. Volkswagen sees the gaps, the unmet desires, and answers with the T-Rock, a machine that doesn't beg for the future but seizes the now, blending hybrid thrift with combustion's thrill. Consider the economics, the cold calculus that shapes empires. Battery costs spike like rogue waves. Lithium, nickel, cobalt, their prices dancing to volatile tunes, swallowing 35 to 40% of an EV's soul. Volkswagen's ID series, sleek and ambitious, strains against these chains, profits thinning as supply lines stutter. The world's roads tell a rawer truth. 80% of drivers still lean on gasoline or hybrids, tethered to pumps in regions where charging stations are myths. Rural France's winding lanes, India's monsoon-soaked hinterlands, Africa's sun-scorched stretches. Volkswagen sees the gaps, the unmet desires, and answers with the T-Rock, a machine that doesn't beg for the future but seizes the now, blending hybrid thrift with combustion's thrill. Consider the economics, the cold calculus that shapes empires. Battery costs spike like rogue waves. Lithium, nickel, cobalt, their prices dancing to volatile tunes, swallowing 35 to 40% of an EV's soul. Volkswagen's ID series, sleek and ambitious, strains against these chains, profits thinning as supply lines stutter. The T-Roc sidesteps this trap. Its mild hybrid system a bridge between worlds, offering green-tinged efficiency without the battery's burden. Imagine a family in a Midwest town, their budget stretched by dreams of premium rides. The T-Roc, at $35,000 to $45,000, beckons, a ticket to luxury's edge without the elite's price. It squares off with Hyundai's Tucson, Honda's CR-V, Toyota's RAV4, yet elevates the fight. Its tech and torque a class apart, delivering RS 70 lakh features in an RS 50 lakh frame. Value isn't just promised, it's forged, etched in German precision, backed by a service network as vast as the roads it serves. Shift to the sensory, the T-Roc's cabin as a theater of touch and light. Slide into seats that breathe with you, ventilated against summer's sweat, heated against winter's chill. The dashboard pulses, a digital heartbeat syncing speed, maps, ADAS alerts in a 10.25-inch display that feels like piloting a starship. Voice commands awaken the machine, cool the air, and vents sigh relief. Play the beat, and 12 speakers weave a sonic cocoon. Outside, LED matrix headlights carve the night, adjusting with AI's foresight to spare oncoming eyes, while taillights form a luminous ribbon, a signature that lingers in rearview mirrors. Safety isn't an afterthought, it's omnipresent. Adaptive cruise easing highway marathons, lane assists nudging like a co-pilot's hand, blind spot warnings flashing like instincts honed. Fatigue fades as the T-Roc watches, brakes, guides, turning long hauls into meditative flows. Now, the heart of the strategy pulses louder. Volkswagen's dual path isn't retreat but rebellion, a refusal to bow to one-note futures. EVs dazzle, but their charge falters where grids fail. Gasoline endures, its service network's a familiar friend, its refills a 5-minute ritual versus the EV's patient wait. The T-Roc's mild hybrid whispers compromise, fuel saved, emissions slashed, yet the soul of speed intact. Picture a driver in Sao Paulo weaving through urban sprawl, or a couple tracing the Amalfi Coast's cliffs. They crave range, reliability, the visceral kick no battery can mimic. Volkswagen hears them, crafting a machine that doesn't just move but inspires. Its 700 to 800 kilometer range a promise of freedom unplugged. Its 320 newton-meters of torque a surge that conquers peaks and passes. The global stage shifts. Analysts in glass towers scribble projections, their pens pausing as the T-Roc's debut sends ripples. Competitors falter, caught in electric orthodoxy. Volkswagen dances between worlds, its billions in EV research unshaken yet tempered by pragmatism. The transition looms, 5 to 7 years of flux where gasoline holds court, modernized, hybridized, cleansed. The T-Roc embodies this pivot, a beacon for markets where chargers are dreams deferred, where drivers demand emotion over efficiency alone. It's not defiance for defiance's sake, it's clarity, a recognition that one path doesn't fit all. Every country, every wallet, every heart beats differently. As dusk settles over Wolfsburg's factories, the T-Roc rolls off the line, each unit a gauntlet thrown to a polarized world. Its engine hums, a low hymn of possibility, its lines cutting through the twilight like a blade through doubt. This isn't just a car, it's a question, a challenge, a pulse that dares to ask, what if the future isn't singular? What if power, passion, practicality can coexist, rewriting the rules of the road? The T-Roc doesn't wait for answers. It accelerates, leaving skeptics in its dust. Its growl a rallying cry for those who believe the journey matters as much as the destination. Gasoline's not dead. It's reborn, refined, relentless, and Volkswagen wields it like a sword, slicing through the haze to carve a legacy that echoes from Munich to Mumbai, Detroit to Dubai. The road is long, the stakes are high, and the T-Roc charges forward, daring the world to keep pace.